The Cuyahoga County Council regular meeting for Tuesday, November 28th is now called to order. Andrea, would you please call the roll?
Good evening, everyone. It is now 5:24 p.m. As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Ms. Turner.
Here.
Ms. Stevens. Ms. Stevens is absent. Ms. Simon.
Here.
Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
Mr. Tuma.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Schron.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Council President Jones.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Andrea, is anyone signed in for public comment?
Yes. John Reese.
There we go. John Rice, Veteran Service Commission. Thank you for your time. On behalf of the Veteran Service Commission, our 5 commissioners and staff, I'm here to thank you for the pending transfer of $1.3 million towards our capital project, and to tell you that we do not believe that that amount will be sufficient to cover the overall cost of the project. I believe that an additional $2 million will be necessary to complete the project to the standards set by other county projects, as well as the standards our veterans deserve. I believe that each member of this council is committed to serving veterans and look forward to continued conversations and discussions on the matter. I have some numbers for you: $283 million and $28 million. The first number represents the amount of non-taxable direct payments from the Department of Veterans Affairs to veterans of Cuyahoga County in 2021. The second number is the amount of one-time lump sum payments awarded to veterans in 2022 and 2023 on claims processed by the veteran service officers in our office. Another $2 million in reoccurring monthly payments is also on those same claims. Another number is $8.6 million, the amount of CCVSC funds directed to the VSC headquarters project through the VSC budget or surplus, representing nearly 87% of the funding for this project to date, including the transfer today. This significant commitment on the part of the CCVSC shows that we are committed to ensuring our veterans have long-term headquarters to receive the services that they have earned. This number is even more significant when you consider that other counties, such as Lorain, Geauga, Trumbull, Stark, Summit, and Franklin, just to name a few, have had their new headquarters that were funded entirely by the county's general fund, as required by ORC. Another significant note is the CCVSC was prepared in 2021 to build out its current location. While the location lacked key amenities, primarily parking, it was the CCVSC was moving forward with a much more economical solution. It was only when Public Works asked us to consider the 3950 Chester Avenue that we moved towards this more expensive route, and it was absolutely the right decision. Thank you to Public Works for helping us locate such a perfect long-term solution. At that time, the CCVSC expressed concerns with funding the project. Executive and council leadership did approve the purchase of $1.8 million, and the whole time Public Works and the CCVSC were aware that the project costs would be significant and communicated this to both executive and county leadership. Now we are sitting at the final stages of the design and preparation for a public bid, and we are asked to scrap the renovation of our second floor because no clients will be seen there. The resulting value engineering will result in an under-improved space that will still host public meetings, such as this room, congressional roundtables, and other VIP visitors. Additionally, regardless of the aesthetic value, the changes will incur long-term maintenance and capital improvement costs that will ultimately exceed the cost of completing this project. Thank you for your time.
Jim Riley.
Evening, Council. My name is Jim Riley. I'm a retired Army officer, a total of 30 years active in the reserve service, former policeman and parole officer, retired. Currently a commissioner with the Veteran Service Commission of Cuyahoga County. Some other commissioners behind me and staff. I'm also president of the Joint Veterans Council of Cuyahoga County. I saw one of your members at our last function at City Hall on November 10th. Lifetime VFW member as well, and lifetime FOP with one of your council members. Our current situation, in 1886, the state of Ohio passed the Soldiers and Sailors Relief Act. All 88 counties at that time started a commission. The names have changed over the years to accommodate the other soldiers, sailors, Marines. But our current home is right down the street at 18th and Prospect. The building has been sold to a condo developer. Half the condos are already in, and people are living in that condo. Over 5 years ago, HEAP, Home Energy Assistance Program, moved out. I think they saw the writing on the wall. So it's half remodeled, so we need to get out. The owner came to us this week and said, we need $81,000 to help repair the boiler where you are. Nobody was in the office yesterday. There was no heat. It's emitting CO2. The fire department is involved in this, and the owner may have known about the CO2 situation. We're not sure. Anyway, why is this the best job I've ever had? It's the most rewarding. Agent Orange was used in Korea, and a relative of mine went to the VA and they said, no, there wasn't any Agent Orange in Korea. His wife happened to approach a veteran service officer from our agency, this is before I ever worked there, and said, I need some help. I've got Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS, from the Agent Orange. And they said, no. The VSO here at the VSC knew, yes, it is covered. Remodeled the house to accommodate for the wheelchair, got a ramp with a van with a motorized ramp and a motorized wheelchair. Secondly, we had a lady come in about 6 months ago, needed help with her electric bill, $1,800. Got 39 seconds, okay. $1,800. Why is it so high? My furnace quit. My husband, the veteran, died last year. She got through the winter with the space heaters. We not only paid her $1,800, we gave her money for a new furnace. That's the kind of stuff we do at our agency. Please fund this building and its design so we can have a permanent home and continue to provide necessary services to the veterans of Cuyahoga County. Thank you.
Ferone Williams.
Everyone, Ferone Williams. I'm the Deputy Director of Cuyahoga County Veteran Service Commission. I'm originally from Cleveland. I'm a veteran myself, retired Air Force. Been home for about 4.5 years now, or retired 4.5 years now. So I just want to hit you guys with a couple numbers, some facts. I'm a retired analyst, so I don't have any quick jokes for you guys. It'll all be pretty dry and quick. First and foremost, I don't need to tell you guys about the Cuyahoga County budget. This is big business. You guys do this every day. But what I will say is that even if the county were to fund this entire project, including the purchase of the building, as well as the build out, it'd be less than 1% of the budget. I know you guys value service just like I do. Sometimes it comes a time when you gotta, put up and show that value. So as our commissioner just told you guys, we do have to vacate our current premises. So we did purchase a new building. I invite each of you guys to come out and take a look at our current digs, as well as to walk through our future home. And I am certain that you'll walk away with two things. One, just seeing our current layout, where we are currently, which is what we aim to have in our new place. You'll see that we're not looking for anything overly luxurious, just something that's functional and also is representative of the pride that comes along with service for the Cuyahoga County's veteran population. And then the last thing is that if you view our future home, you'll walk away knowing that it absolutely needs to be overhauled and it needs to be repaired. And I think you guys will share our same sentiment that we're not asking for too much. Thank you for your time.
Paul, and I am so sorry if I mispronounced your last name. Is it Stiebel? Paul? Radio Hospitality?
Good evening, council members. Paul Sherlock with Radical Hospitality. We are an overnight hospitality center that works with folks who will not go to the traditional homeless shelters in the community. As we all experience, we have the first effects of winter upon us. And right now, the only center that is open for folks that will not go to the traditional shelters is Metanoia, and they are at their capacity. Radical Hospitality and Denison UCC are yet to open because of lack of funding. We have enough funding to operate perhaps 6 to 7 weeks. We are looking for help with our transportation issue since we are not within walking distance for our guests. My concern in talking with the director of Denison UCC is they might not be able to open at all, and if they are able to open, the most that it looks like they'll be able to open would be the same time frame that we are at, 6 to 7 weeks. You know, it was requested by NEOC, $500,000 to support seasonal shelters this year, and the county came back with $100,000. It was suggested to me that I talk to City Council about providing some funding for the funding gap that we are experiencing. And what I have to say in response to that is I talked to Dr. Margolius in March, and he said there was no money in their coffers for our operations or any of the operations. In March, the county council or the county rolled out a strategic plan of reducing homelessness by 25% by 2027. And I'm not sure how you're going to achieve that aspiration when you're not providing funding for the most vulnerable within the community. If you want to reduce homelessness, you're going to have to get people off the street, because every day that they are out there in the elements is another day where they, you know, have greater difficulty operating with clear mental capacity. So please revisit the funding that you are providing to seasonal shelters, and thank you.
Mr. Sherlock? Mr. Sherlock, if you could come over. Clifford Carson?
Good evening. I am here, Clifford Carson, to address the council in what I would consider to be the most important matter, that's a pretty bold statement to make, facing our community right now. I gave you a handout, and it's entitled Cuyahoga County Youth Intervention Training, Crime and Violence Prevention, a Plan of Action for Immediate Implementation. We're all concerned about what's currently occurring in our communities with youth and out-of-control violence. There is something we can definitely do about it. What I am proposing is I'll get straight to the point. We're going to take the same youth who are pretty much the ringleaders and creating a lot of havoc, and we're going to give them a new set of opportunities. And this is more than just talk, because I've been involved in this before. What we're going to do is identify them. Then we're also going to provide them with academic and skills training. Just a little bit about my background. I currently hold a license from the Ohio Department of Education. So I'm licensed as an educator, and I'm also licensed to interact with youth. Also, I didn't put it here, I founded a foundation, so I have experience working with youth in every type of, I would say, capacity, from youth who are handicapped, homeless, and poverty. And the one thing in common is that all youth, I don't care what they've done, are still amenable. It sounds like a lot of theory, but it's true. I taught at the Juvenile Detention Center School a number of years ago, and the type of offenses a lot of the youth I work with were very serious, from kidnapping, murder, and what I found was humbling. In each instance, all of those youth still wanted to turn their life around. So no matter how heinous the crime that these young people are doing, they are reachable, and we can make a difference. It's more than theory. That's why I describe this as a plan. Now, I am going to read what's here because, you know, I could keep running my mouth on and on. There's a need to identify and assess the academic skill levels of youth and provide appropriate academic intervention. That's critical. I worked with some kids called non-readers, and you might laugh at this. 99% of the time, the reason they couldn't read is because they weren't looking at the words. So what I'm proposing is that we identify youth who are under the care of the Juvenile Detention Center.
So please take,
Yes.
please take a sentence or two to complete your main point, and your time is.
Thank you so much. What I'd like to do is provide skills training to them, academic intervention. When they leave, follow them in the community. And every community will have representation, and there's funds that are currently available, and I'm ready to begin this now. Instead of watching on the news about how bad the kids are, we can identify them and corral them, and I'm just the guy to get it done. Thank you for your time. Let's do this. Thank you.
That concludes the public comment portion for today's meeting.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes for the November 14th Committee of the Whole meeting and the November 14th, 2023 regular meeting?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say nay. The minutes are approved. May I have a motion to excuse Council Member Cheryl Stevens from today's meeting?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to excuse Council Member Cheryl Stevens. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, and the council member is excused. Council President Jones has the following message. As a reminder, we will not have committee next week, as we have another council meeting next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Because of this, I believe we should send all legislation requested to be approved before the end of the year to the Committee of the Whole next week. We can discuss the legislation in detail there and refer it for passage at that evening's regular meeting if appropriate. If there are any pieces of legislation that you would still like sent to your committee, please let me know and we can make the adjustments as necessary. Just be aware that doing so could delay the final approval of a particular item until next year. Do we have any announcements from the county executive?
Thank you, Councilman, members of council. Briefly, just wanted to reflect on something I mentioned at the last meeting, that we were honoring Garrett Morgan in this community, and I think hopefully we will continue with some events coming up. But Garrett Morgan's 100th anniversary of his invention of the traffic signal was November 15th, and he was celebrated in Washington, D.C. By Congresswoman Brown and the Department of Transportation. We were honored to join Senator Morgan and the Morgan family to honor Garrett Morgan. His birthday is coming up March 4th. I'm hopeful that we can work with you on dedicating a Garrett Morgan Day ahead for a man that has saved so many lives with inventions that were so ahead of their time, whether it was the traffic signal or whether it was the hooded mask that was used in World War I to support our soldiers, and also what he did out in the tunnel tragedy in the lake, and has never been given enough credit. So we were honored to be a part of the delegation in Washington that supported Garrett Morgan's inventions, and we're glad to see US DOT honor him. I wanted to also give a quick shout out with gratitude to MedWorks. Sabrina Roberts and I spent a morning at Huntington Convention Center. Urge you to do the same next year if possible. They supported over 1,000 free dental visits to our convention center and gave free dental care to anyone who arrived on Friday and Saturday 2 weeks ago. Hats off to MedWorks. They're a treasure in our town. I know Councilwoman Conwell knows that well. They're also assisting at our Juvenile Intervention Center, or will be more. Just really amazed by the nonprofits that provide critical care on the front line as our partners. So thank you, MedWorks. And I wanted to just finally say thank you to you, members of council. I'm going to miss you next week. I'm out next Tuesday, but I wanted to say to Council President and all members of council, I think it's been a good year. I know we have one more meeting coming up together, but in case I forgot, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. We've accomplished a lot together, and I really appreciate your support in my first year and building partnerships with you. Everything from together building a housing department now run by Director Sarah Parks Jackson, providing more support on mobility matters here in our community, landing a central services campus here in Cuyahoga County. We're on our way to a child wellness campus. We are working to, as some persons just talked about, seasonal shelter, provide more of it on Walton Avenue. I'm really proud of the Advisory Committee on Women's Health that was led by our women members of council. Thank you, and our staff and your council staff. And finally, I want to say thank you for the support. I know how much you've worked on this budget with us, so hats off and appreciation for this year. We're only 11 months through, but one more month to go. If I didn't get the chance, just want to say thanks to you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, County Executive. All right, at this time, legislation introduced by council, consideration of resolutions of council for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2023-0349, amending resolution number 2016-0218, dated December 13, 2016, as amended by various resolutions, which authorized a grant in the amount of $2,500,000 to Variety Properties, LLC, for the benefit of a project located at 11801 through 11825 Lorraine Avenue in the city of Cleveland, by extending the resolution sunset provision from November 30th, 2023 to May 31st, 2024.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2023-0350, awarding a total sum not to exceed $100,000 to the Jennings Center for Older Adults for the Hazelwood Court Senior Housing Project from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund, and rescinding the award made pursuant to Resolution Number 2023-0232 to Hazelwood Court, LLC.
This item will be referred to the Community Development Committee.
Resolution 2023-0351, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Salvation Army for the Community Corrections Program from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Public Safety and Justice Affairs Committee.
Resolution 2023-0352, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to the City of South Euclid for the Year 3 of the South Euclid Deer Sterilization Program from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will be referred to the Education, Environment, and Sustainability Committee.
Resolution 2023-0353, amending the 2022-2023 biennial operating budget for 2023 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2023-0354, authorizing a subsidy agreement with the Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Cuyahoga County, governing the use, disbursement, and oversight of health and human services levy funds for the initial period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2023-0355, authorizing a charity care services agreement with Metro Health System governing the use, disbursement, and oversight of Health and Human Services levy funds for the initial period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions of council for second reading.
Resolution 2023-0311, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the NAACP Cleveland Branch for a community series on criminal legal reform from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0312, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Waterloo Alley Cat Project for the care of abandoned and feral cats from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0313, approving the Metro Health System's policies and procedures to participate in one or more joint purchasing associations for the purpose of acquiring supplies, equipment, and services provided through joint purchasing arrangements to achieve beneficial purchasing arrangements for the year 2024 in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 339.05.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0316, authorizing a contract with Frank Ford Consulting, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $58,500 for the provision of mortgage lending research and technical assistance to Cuyahoga County Council for the period October 1st, 2023 through April 5th, 2024.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Consideration of resolutions of council for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0296, awarding a total sum not to exceed $11,400 to the Cleveland Treatment Center for the theatrical production of Fragmented, A Family's Toil Through Trying Times from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt. Second. All right, I'd like to turn it over to the Councilman Sweeney. Would you like to add?
No, I just asked my colleagues to support it. I'd appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0297, awarding a total sum not to exceed $25,000 to the Urban Community School for the purpose of adding fire hydrants to the school campus from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Sweeney?
My computer is down.
Right here.
Oh, can you get my computer back? It's not working. Never turned on. Which one? The Urban Community School. They're just on 45th and Lorraine. They've been going absolutely gangbusters. Now it's a safety issue with the fire hydrants, and it's just a small way of helping that school can continue to grow for the neighborhood, and it's just a wonderful ask my colleagues to support it.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
No, it's not. It's doing it again. Go ahead. Neighborhood Family Practice.
Resolution 2023-0298, awarding a total sum not to exceed $50,000 to Neighborhood Healthcare, Inc., doing business as Neighborhood Family Practice for the Increasing Access to Healthcare for Underserved Populations project from the District 3 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt. Second.
Thank you very much. This is, we had the presentation and then Health and Human Services. This operation is extraordinary. They take care of the least of us that don't get, have the opportunity to have high-quality health care, and it's throughout the city of Cleveland and in some of the inner-ring suburbs. So I'd ask all my colleagues to support it. It's a wonderful ARPA expenditure.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0299, awarding a total sum not to exceed $250,000 to Olympia Foundation, Inc. for the rehabilitation of the Olympia building from the District 8 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Now, this project is located in the Broadway Slavic Village District on East 55th Street and will consist of 20 units of affordable housing for the area. This investment in this has existed in this area for quite some time, and this project will ensure that providing housing to those that are the most economically vulnerable during the housing crisis will remain available to families in need for decades to come. And I ask for my colleagues' support in improving this legislation. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
President, can I have my name added?
Let's add Councilwoman Conwell's name. Thank you.
Resolution 2023-0300, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to Music Through the Streets for the Battle of the Bands from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. We heard this in committee, and for us who are older folk, Battle of the Bands meant something much different from that which was presented to us. So I'm going to turn this over to the sponsor lady.
Thank you.
Turn.
Chairwoman Simon, thank you for the opportunity to speak on this. It was heard in the Education Committee. We heard about the excellent work of this nonprofit, Music Through the Streets. This group provides instrumental musical instruction and exposure for inner city children, and they host a battle of the bands for some of the local high schools and historically black colleges and universities. But more importantly, these musical events provide scholarships for disadvantaged students. I'm proud to support this ARPA grant and ask for my colleagues' support.
All right, all those in favor say, oh, yes, go right ahead, Councilman.
Just a comment out there, because I am one of the older folks, I think that was referred to out there. And when they heard the term Battle of the Bands, my mind went to guitars and stage and all that. And this was really cool because it's all about bands like marching bands that we all grew up with as far as at schools and on the football fields and things like that. And so it really gave a recognition to a different kind of Battle of the Bands, which was really a cool thing. So I'm very enthused about it, and I put my name down too also.
Thank you.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, the resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0301, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Joseph Legacy Doing Business as Momentous Mentoring for the Momentous Mentoring Museum and HBCU College Tour from the District 9 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
This matter was heard in the Education Environment Committee, and I want to turn this over to the sponsor.
Again, thank you, Chairwoman Simon. I remember being a senior in high school and wanting to go on a college tour, and having to negotiate with my mother because she didn't have the funds. We came up with it somehow, I don't remember how, but Momentous Mentoring links local high school students with opportunities to visit and tour colleges and universities that further the education of Black students. These tours open doors for underprivileged students and helps to illuminate the strong educational work of historically Black colleges and universities and other universities. This provides a direct link to Black history and culture and heritage for the next generation of local leaders, and I enthusiastically ask for my colleagues' support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, this resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0302, awarding a total sum not to exceed $10,000 to the Community Partnership on Aging for the Safe at Home program from the District 11 ARPA Community Grant Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. So this matter was heard in the Education Environment Committee. Oh, no, it was
It was actually
Councilwoman
mine,
Conwell.
but
That's right.
Because
So-
you're the sponsor.
This award goes to the community, hopefully, Partnership on Aging, which is an entity that includes the cities of South Euclid, Highland Heights, Lyndhurst, Mayfield to serve seniors with hot meals, with events, activities. And this particular program is Safe at Home program that teaches how to be safe in homes with balance and not falling, and to try to keep seniors in their homes with this program instead of exporting them out. So I ask for your support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Legislation introduced by executive. Consideration of a resolution for first reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2023-0356, amending the 2022-2023 biennial operating budget for 2023 by providing for additional fiscal appropriations, appropriation transfers, and cash transfers.
Move to substitute.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right.
Mr. President and my colleagues, the substitute is technical in nature. It merely corrects the description of the Metro Health subsidies, but there's no change in the dollar amounts, and I ask for your approval of the substitute.
All right. So is there a motion to accept the proposed substitute?
So moved.
Properly moved and seconded. Councilman Miller, is there any further discussion on the proposed substitute?
No, Mr. President.
All right. All those in favor of accepting the proposed substitute, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. At this time,
I move to approve the resolution on its merits as substituted.
all those
Mr. President, my colleagues, this resolution is the regular fiscal agenda of budget amendments to the 2023 budget. The answers to our questions to OBM are on your desks. Most items are routine appropriations of grants and transfers within accounts. The following are notable. $16,236,000 is appropriated for the regular second and third quarter subsidies for Metro Health. $1,205,450 is appropriated for human resources to cover the cost of recently filled vacancies. There are regular cash transfers from the HHS levies totaling $93,609,166 for the regular services we provide, with the largest being for DCFS, senior and adult, juvenile court, probation, invest in children, and homeless services. Finally, the resolution authorizes OBM to remove excess appropriations prior to December 31st, 2023, to avoid audit findings of appropriations in excess of available resources. The administration will provide us an itemization of the appropriation reductions in January. While these items are large, they represent typical and routine actions required to close out the budget year, and I recommend passage on first reading.
All right. All those in favor of adopting the resolution based on its merits as substituted, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Consideration of resolutions for first reading and referral to committee.
Resolution 2023-0357, confirming the county executive's appointment of Emily Gar Passetti to serve on the Greater Cleveland Regional Transit Authority Board of Trustees for the term March 4th, 2023 through March 3rd, 2026.
This item will be referred to the committee of the whole.
Resolution 2023-0358, making an award on requisition 13202 to Kefleitner Automotive, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $824,432 for the purchase of replacement new, never titled, 7 Dodge Ram 4500 trucks for use by the Sanitary Division.
This item will be referred to the committee of the whole.
Resolution 2023-0359, authorizing an agreement with Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District in the amount not to exceed $2 million for disposal of wastewater sewer grit for the period January 1st, 2024 through October 31st, 2025.
This item will be referred to the committee of the whole.
Resolution 2023-0360, making an award on requisition 11582 and authorizing a purchase and sale agreement with 10991 Memphis Avenue, LLC, in the amount not to exceed $1,200,000 for the property located at 10991 Memphis Avenue, Brooklyn, permanent parcel number 431-05-011, effective upon signature of all parties.
This item will be referred to the committee of the whole.
Resolution 2023-0361, authorizing a cooperative agreement with Olmsted Township for a preventative and routine maintenance of 22 miles of county roads and various structures for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2033, in the amount not to exceed $6,500,000.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2023-0362, making an award on requisition 13433 to the Great Lakes Construction Company in the amount not to exceed $8,018,591.97 for rehabilitation of North Main Street, Bridge number 0012, over the Chagrin River in the village of Chagrin Falls.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Could I add my name to this?
Let's add Councilman Jack Strawn's name.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Councilman.
Jack Strawn.
Thank you. Resolution 2023-0363, authorizing an amendment to a contract with AT&T Corporation for Internet Service Provider and Distributed Denial of Service Security Services for the period January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2028, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $826,000.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2023-0364, authorizing an amendment to a contract with AT&T Corporation for Wide Area Network Links for the time period January 1st, 2019 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2028, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $984,393.
This item will be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Resolution 2023-0365, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Caremark's PCS Health, LLC, for pharmacy benefit management services for county employees and their eligible dependents, and Cuyahoga County Benefits Regionalization Program participants, employees, and their eligible dependents for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $30,183. Excuse me.
This item will,
I'm sorry, for, it's, $30,183,128.
all right, this item will also be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
I'm sorry, just need to drink a little bit of water for a
Take your
second.
time, Andrea.
Okay. Resolution 2023-0366, making an award on requisition 12168 to the James B. Oswald Company in the amount not to exceed $700,000 for the professional employees benefits consultant services for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2026.
This item will also be referred to the Committee of the Whole. Committee reports in consideration of resolutions for second reading.
Resolution 2023-0285, adopting the 2024-2025 biennial operating budget and capital improvements program.
Move to amend.
Second.
Mr. President and my colleagues, under the leadership of our safety chairman, Councilman Gallagher, at his last committee meeting, we identified that there is a pending purchase of 1,000 radios in 2024 and 2025 for the sheriff's office and the juvenile court that we've committed to, but not included in the budget. The total amount is $883,947.06 in each of the 2 years. And this amendment simply adds these items into the budget, and I ask for the approval of my colleagues.
We also have a second proposed substitute as well.
Okay. Yeah, I can
Yes.
move to add this substituted item to the budget.
All right. So with the motion to accept the proposed
Is there a
substitutes.
Second.
Thank you.
I
I
have
can
a second?
describe what this is. This adds money to the 2025 budget for the tree plan, or a little with the actually sustainability project fund, which hopefully will continue on with the tree program with different aspects of that from the executive's vision. And it adds the 1 million back into the 2025 budget.
Right. So all those in favor of accepting these proposed substitutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
And Mr. President,
Yes, you have the floor, Councilman.
I would also like to note to my colleagues that a substitute that incorporates these additional amendments plus the amendments that we approved at the November 20th Committee of the Whole will be brought to us on next Tuesday, and it'll be all brought into the resolution. Thank you.
Council President, can I get a clarification on who made the motion to accept the proposed substitute and who seconded?
I made a motion, and Councilwoman Turner second.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So these items before us will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0320, ratifying an amendment to the Code of Regulations of the Northeast Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0321, declaring that public convenience and welfare requires the reconstruction of Lake Road Clifton Boulevard project in the cities of Lakewood and Rocky River in connection with the Cuyahoga County Lakefront Access Plan. Total estimated project costs, $9,500,000. Finding that special assessments will neither be levied nor collected to pay for any part of the county's costs of said improvement.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Mr. President, please add my name.
Let's add Councilman Kelly's name.
Resolution 2023-0322, authorizing an amendment to an agreement with Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority for lease of a county-owned parking lot located on Cedar Avenue at East 22nd Street. Permanent parcel numbers 103-13019 and 103-13022 in the city of Cleveland for the period December 15th, 2021 through December 14th, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2025.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0323, making an award on requisition 11017, Event 3632 to 21C LLC, doing business as Compass Energy Platform, for consulting and management services for the Cuyahoga County Electric Utility and Microgrid for the period of 10 years.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0327, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for the Comprehensive Case Management Employment Program, Employment Education and Training Services for Young Adults for the period April 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to October 31st, 2024, to change the terms effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $5,979,175.95 for the vendors A through B as listed on the agenda.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0328, authorizing amendments to contracts with various providers for the Ohio Works First program for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, to change the terms effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $6,686,146.75 for the vendors A through B as listed on the agenda.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0338, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for school community-based closing the Achievement Gap services for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, to change the terms effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,075,377 for the various providers A through G as listed on the agenda.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0339, authorizing a contract with Educational Service Center of Northeast Ohio in the amount not to exceed $654,000 for programming and fiscal agent services for the Families and Schools Together FAST program for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0340, authorizing an amendment to an agreement with Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Cuyahoga County for fiscal agent and program administration services for the Early Childhood Mental Health Program in connection with the Invest in Children program for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, to change the terms and to expand the scope of services effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $700,000.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0341, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Child Care Resource Center of Cuyahoga County, doing business as Starting Point for the Special Needs Child Care Program for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, to change the terms effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,899,281.78.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0342, authorizing a contract with Child Care Resource Center of Cuyahoga County, doing business as Starting Point, in the amount not to exceed $1,700,816.02 for implementation and management of the Child Care Access and Quality Expansion Program for Invest in Children for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
This item will go to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0343, authorizing a contract with Child Care Resource Center of Cuyahoga County, doing business as Starting Point, in the amount not to exceed $2,433,569.42 for management and administration of the Family Child Care Home Professional Development System for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0344, authorizing a contract with Family Connections of Northeast Ohio in the amount not to exceed $1,028,000 for program administration and direct services for the supporting partnerships to assure Ready Kids, also known as the SPARK program, for Invest in Children for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
This item will move to the December 5th council agenda for consideration for third reading adoption. Committee reports and consideration of resolutions for second reading adoption under suspension of rules. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules?
Mr. President, I move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The rules are suspended.
Resolution 2023-0325, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Alcohol Monitoring Systems, Inc. for GPS alcohol bracelets and monitoring services for the period April 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024, to expand the scope of services effective August 2nd, 2023, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $550,000.
Move to adopt. Second. Mr. President, this was heard in committee, and this affords the courts the ability to expand the bracelets available for tracking and alcohol monitoring. Recommendation was acceptance.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Mr. President, can I have a clarification of who seconded?
Seconded by Councilman Scott Tuma.
Thank you. Resolution 2023-0326, authorizing a contract with Unsolve Intermediate Holding Company in the amount not to exceed $585,000 for the purchase of a mass notification system for the period December 17, 2023 through December 16, 2028.
Move to adopt. Second. Mr. President, this also was heard in committee. This is a service that we provide to many cities, over 40 cities throughout Cuyahoga County for mass notification. This will afford us the ability to upgrade all of our mass notification on-site systems right now, and we can add on more communities if they're willing to participate. Recommendation was acceptance.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0329, authorizing a contract with United Way of Greater Cleveland in the amount not to exceed $2,440,900 for fiscal agent services and emergency food purchase assistance by hunger centers serving eligible Cuyahoga County residents, and it's for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this is a routine agreement heard in the Health and Human Services Committee. There will be an increase for food, but it will be in a separate agreement due to the amendment would have held up these needed funds. So we will come back. You'll hear an increase, but it'll be later.
All right,
Thank you.
all right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0330, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for community-based services to support at-risk children and families in Cuyahoga County, and it's for the period April 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $4,912,734.60. Items A through I.
I move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this contract is a routine contract with the Neighborhood Collabs, assisting families to remain whole and children not to enter into the DCFS care. It is a master contract which allows the funding to be moved around and distributed to various neighborhoods that may need an increase. So I ask my colleagues for their support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Mr. President, I just have a quick question, since if I could indulge me for a second with the chairwoman. There used to be a collaborative in Euclid that was very successful at the YMCA, and when the YMCA closed, they just totally got rid of the collaborative, which is sorely needed. Is the money so limited here that it can't be expanded, or I just quickly for future,
I remember that.
Yep.
When they disbanded, but we can have future conversations about it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's just a shame because this really does make a difference.
Yes.
So I appreciate your work on this.
And I'd like to echo that. We all know the great work that the YMCA did in our communities, and opportunity to build on that would be great in the future. All right, again, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0331, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for family-centered support services for at-risk children and families for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, to change the terms effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the total amount not to exceed $2,479,115 for various providers, items A through K.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this item was heard in committee. It's needed services for our children in Cuyahoga County. I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Councilmember Tuma has requested to recuse on this item.
Recused, all right. Councilman Toomey is recused.
Resolution 2023-0332, authorizing an amendment to a master contract with various providers for Medicaid, home, and community-based services for out-of-home placement and foster care services for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, to expand the scope of services, terminate contracts with various providers, and add new providers effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $61,500. Items A1 through D74.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this contract was heard in Health and Human Services Committee. It is one of the largest contracts in Health and Human Services. It is necessary for board and care for our children. It was thoroughly vetted. I think we have about 4 new providers that are out of town due to the Thanksgiving holiday. They were unable to come in, but it was assured that Department of Children and Family Services stays on a monthly basis with our children that are out of our care in the county. So they take care of finding out and checking up on them via virtual or in person for the kids that are out of our care. So I ask my colleagues for their support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We will turn to page 24.
Resolution 2023-0333, authorizing an amendment to an agreement with the Metro Health System for comprehensive medical services for families involved with the Division of Children and Family Services for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, to change the terms effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,889,151.49.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, these are needed services, medical exams, appointments, et cetera, for our children that are currently in Cuyahoga County's care. I ask my colleagues for their support.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0334, authorizing an agreement with Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities in the amount not to exceed $1,400,000 for Medicaid, home, and community-based services for youth with developmental disabilities for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this was also heard in committee, routine agreement. I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0335, authorizing an agreement with Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office in the amount not to exceed $8,322,252 for legal services for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this was also heard in committee. It is necessary for passage. I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0336, making an award on requisition 12756 with various municipalities and providers in the total amount not to exceed $6,063,762 for the Community Social Services Program for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025 for the various municipalities and providers, A through double D.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, these are necessary services for our seniors here in Cuyahoga County, and I recommend passage. I ask my colleagues for their support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0337, making awards on requisition 12904 with various providers in the total amount not to exceed $9,550,000 for various services for the Cuyahoga Options for Independent Living Services Program for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025 for the various providers, A through X as listed on the agenda.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, This was thoroughly vetted in Health and Human Services Committee. It's also the options program for our seniors here in Cuyahoga County. It was asked if there was any wait list. The only thing that was a wait list for us to keep on our radar is the homemaking skills for our seniors. So I asked my colleagues for recommended for passage.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0345, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Mental Health Services for homeless persons doing business as Frontline Service for coordinated intake services in connection with the Continuum of Care program for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to January 31st, 2025, to change the terms effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $852,257.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this is also thoroughly vetted in the Health and Human Services Committee. We learned a lot about what Frontline Services are currently doing for our community. They used to help assist with a lot more in the homeless continuum, but due to staff shortage, their kind of help has decreased, but they're still viable and very helpful. I recommend passage.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have
And,
it.
Mr.
At this-
President, oops, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, for this item, Councilmember Tuma is recusing himself.
All right.
Resolution 2023-0346, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Mental Health Services for Homeless Persons, Inc., doing business as Frontline Service for temporary housing for single adults and youth at North Point Transitional Housing located at 1550 Superior Avenue in the city of Cleveland for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, to change the terms effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,422,933.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, this is also heard in the Health and Human Services Committee. We did learn that North Point Transitional Housing has received some funds from City of Cleveland to renovate, which is sorely needed. It is for our youth that are homeless from 18 to 24 years old. So I ask humbly for my colleagues' support.
Right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes
And,
have it.
and at this time also, Councilmember Tuma is recusing himself from this item.
All right.
Resolution 2023-0347, authorizing a contract with the Salvation Army in the amount not to exceed $794,821 for supportive services for homeless men in the Pickup Assessment Sheltering Service, also known as PASS, Transitional Housing Program, for the period October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2024.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, I ask for my colleagues' support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0348, authorizing a contract with Emerald Development and Economic Network, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $993,190 for facility management services for the Norma Herr Women's Shelter, located at 2227 Payne Avenue in the city of Cleveland, for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2025.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, these are needed services for individuals that are in our community that need some assistance with the Norma Herr Women's Shelter. Eden, better known as Eden, assist us with that, and so I ask my colleagues for their support.
Right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. Consideration of resolutions for third reading adoption.
Resolution 2023-0286, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Sparky Plaza LLC for lease of space for Auto Title Regional Office West, located at 27029 Brook Park Extension Road, North Olmsted, for the period December 1st, 2013 through November 30th, 2023, to extend the time period to November 30th, 2028, to change the terms effective upon contract signature of all parties, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $515,476.08.
Motion to adopt?
And, Mr. President, on November 1st, 2023, Mr. John Myers of Public Works came before the committee to discuss this legislation. The funding here is 100% from the general fund. This lease includes 3,192 square feet of office space plus 30 parking spaces. The property is going to be used as the Great Northern Auto Title Satellite Office, and the county has leased this space since 2013. I would ask for my colleagues' support on this piece of legislation.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0287, making an award on requisition 12300 to Kone Inc. in the amount not to exceed $3,843,640 for vertical transport elevator maintenance and repair services for various county facilities for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2026.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
And, Mr. President, Mr. Matt Reimer of Public Works came before the Public Works Committee on November 1st, 2023 to discuss this legislation. The pre-bid estimate was actually $4 million. This came in under that. The vendor selected was the highest scored bidder. This is a new vendor, but it's our understanding there's been lots of fluctuations in the elevator maintenance field. I suppose a lot of ups and downs. No, okay. I'm here every Tuesday. The previous vendor did not submit a proposal. The majority of the funds will be used for regular maintenance, and the anticipated to be approximately $1 million per year. There are 92 elevators in this contract, and it's located throughout various county buildings. And I ask for my colleagues' support on this.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0293, declaring the necessity of submitting the electors of Cuyahoga County the question of the renewal of a 4.8 mil tax levy for the purpose of supplementing general fund appropriations for health and human or social services for 8 years outside the 10 mil limitation in accordance with Section 5705.191 of the Ohio Revised Code.
Move to adopt.
Second. We discussed this item in Committee of the Whole. This resolution is the first step we need to take to place the Health and Human Services levy renewal on the March primary ballot by declaring the necessity to proceed and directing the fiscal office to provide the legally required certifications, including the revenue to be collected. Once we have received the fiscal officer's certifications, we will vote on this item's companion resolution at our next meeting to formally place the question on the March 19th primary ballot next year. The Health and Human Service Levy is core to the county's mission to support programs and services that provide for the needs of our most vulnerable residents. And I therefore ask my colleagues for their support. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0304, confirming the county executive's appointment of Michael W. Chambers upon his taking the oath of office as county fiscal officer.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Who seconded? I'm sorry.
Sweeney?
Thank you.
All right. At this time, we're going to ask for a roll call vote.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Stevens? Ms. Stevens is absent. Ms. Simon?
Yes, with a caveat that we are expecting a policy to come in for retiree hire.
Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, and agreeing with Ms. Simon's caveat.
Mr. Sweeney?
Yes.
Mr. Tuma?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher? Mr. Schron?
Yes, and agreeing with the same two comments about the need for a policy.
Ms. Conwell?
No.
Council President Jones?
Yes.
The motion carries with the vote of 9-1. Okay. Resolution 2023-03 2306, making awards on requisition 12846 to 2 providers in the combined amount not to exceed $800,000 for general sanitary engineering services effective upon signatures of all parties for a period of 3 years for the providers A through B as listed on the agenda.
Motion to adopt. Mr. President, Ms. Nicole English came before the Public Works Committee on November 1st, 2023. This is 100% funded by the Sanitary Engineering Fund. Both selected vendors are DEI compliant, and both vendors have extensive county experience and good track records. Both firms have specific areas of expertise that will be utilized by the county's Public Works Department on a, quote, as-needed basis, and I would ask for my colleagues' support on this legislation.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0307, making an award on requisition 12393 to C&S Engineers, Inc. in the amount not to exceed $650,000 for general engineering services for the Cuyahoga County Airport, effective upon contract signature of all parties for a period of 5 years.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, Mr. John Myers came before Public Works on November 1st, 2023. This is 100% funded by the County Airport Fund. Let's see, the RFQ is issued and closed on July 27, 2023, and there was 3 submissions reviewed with 3 vendors selected. There were no DEI goals as this was a federal funding component. It gets a little bit more complicated when the FAA is involved and approval is needed for the projects. So 5-year contract term is standard for aviation FAA contracts, and I ask for my colleagues' support on this legislation moving forward.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution 2023-0308, authorizing an agreement with City of Lakewood in the amount not to exceed $1,091,667 for tenant-based rental assistance services in connection with the American Rescue Plan for Home Investment Partnership Program for the period October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2025.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Right. These funds are being allocated to the City of Lakewood to provide tenant-based rental assistance for funding allocated through the Home Investment Partnership as part of the American Rescue Plan Act. This program will provide much-needed assistance to those who are most at risk by providing a safety net and stability in ensuring that renters are able to stay in their homes. And I ask my colleagues for your support in approving this piece of legislation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0309, making an award on requisition 12167 to Med Mutual Life Insurance Company in the amount not to exceed $7,690,403 for group life, voluntary life, and accidental death insurance for county employees for the period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2027.
Move to adopt. This legislation allows Med Mutual Life Insurance to serve as the county's provider of necessary insurance benefits, including group life and accidental death coverage for county employees and their beneficiaries. Approval of this contract will allow stability in our life insurance coverage for the next 3 years. Representatives from our Human Resources Department discussed the contract award process and are recommending the approval of this vendor. In this term, Med Mutual has agreed to freeze their rates for the 4-year contract term, which helps guard against increased benefit costs for the county. Additionally, in this contract term, the basic life insurance at no cost to the employee was increased from $10,000 to $30,000. I ask for my colleagues' support of this important legislation.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Resolution 2023-0310, authorizing an amendment to a contract with Child Care Resource Center of Cuyahoga County, doing business as Starting Point, for the out-of-school time services for youth for the period January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to December 31st, 2024, to change the terms effective January 1st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $1,650,000.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. This matter was heard in committee. This is simply an extension of a contract for out-of-time, school time for youth, providing tutoring and other services, and it's funded through the Health and Human Service Levy. And the Starting Point is the administrator of this program. I ask for your support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The resolution is adopted. At this time, miscellaneous committee reports, and we only have one. Our committee of the whole will take place on Tuesday, December 5th. The time has not been determined, so stay tuned. Is there any miscellaneous business?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Councilwoman.
All right. I want to just say this to my colleague, Scott Tuma. What can I say about my colleague, Scott Tuma, the Chair of Public Works, which he ran with professionalism and on time. Over the years on County Council, you have served with distinction and brought forth legislation for the good of this body and Cuyahoga County. Although you leave this body and will be sorely missed, I think it most fitting that you continue your public service for Parma as their law director. I hope you remember your time here with us. Know that you will be missed. Continue your public service with integrity. Farewell, my friend Scott. Godspeed in your new endeavor. I won't be here, so
That's fine.
I appreciate
I
that.
just wanted to make sure that I
Thank you.
said that.
I appreciate
Why
that.
your voice sound all cracky?
I appreciate that, Yvonne.
I mean,
I know. I really appreciate your I can't start this right now, right? We got to do this next week. I appreciate your comments. Thank you. And you've been a great friend and colleague. Thank you.
All right.
You're going to tear up.
Mr.
I
President.
started to realize you weren't going to be here next week.
Right.
When you started.
Thought we missed something here.
And I missed committee when they played the joke on them, so couldn't miss that.
Scott, we will save it all for next week.
Mr. President, here in the state of Ohio, it's championship weekend. And we have two mighty teams, Glenville Tar Blooders and the mighty St. Edward Eagles are going after back-to-back at St. Ed's situation and back-to-back for Glenville. Here's hoping they bring the titles back to where they belong and where they are right now and making Cuyahoga County proud.
All right.
Well, Mr. President,
Councilwoman, floor is
we'll
yours.
save my comments for colleague Tuma next time. Be prepared. And I just want to mention Rosalind Carter, who passed away. I think we should just take note of her life. I think 97 years of service, commitment to, to children and social justice issues. What an amazing lady. She climbed Mount Kilimanjaro and did all things after age 60. So somebody to aspire to, and just my thoughts.
All right. Anyone else?
Tuma, are you going to be here the 14th? Don't we have another meeting on the 14th? Oh, no, I was just talking about, we're all saying goodbye on the 5th.
Yeah.
Sometime on the 14th, I was going to say goodbye.
I'll be here.
We'll keep it all month.
Yeah, I'll be here till December 31st. I'll be here.
Yeah, I just wanted-
I'll be
Reluctantly.
here as a, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. If nothing else holds our attention, our meeting is now adjourned.